Rise and shine, all I and I's. How are all the I's doing out there on this lovely day? Today we're getting right on started. We are making a vegan meatloaf, a veggie meatloaf, a plant-based meatloaf. Okay, so let's get right on to it. So, so I zoomed in for y'all so y'all can really see the ingredients that we're using today. Mushrooms we have on the stove cooking, some lentils cooking, some walnuts cooking. We're going to be sauteing our mushrooms with our cabbage. So for our veggie sauce that we're going to put on the top of it, we have some egg. We're going to blend up in our blender some tomatoes, eggplants, zucchini, squash, and some red cabbage. And a little bit of balsamic glaze, but a little bit of balsamic glaze we're going to put in there. And we're going to put in some dates. We're going to put in just 3 dates. We're going to put all of this in the blender. And that's going to be our topping of the meatloaf. So for our meatloaf filling, the meat part, we're going to be chopping up some mushrooms, cabbage. We have some bell peppers here already in a skillet that we're going to saute with some onions. And then I'm going to chop up some garlic cloves right here. Then to hold the meatloaf, we have some flat seeds. We're going to be grinding up our flat seeds with our herbal grinder. Then we're going to be putting some water on there to make a flaxseed egg. We also going to be binding it with some oats as well. So we have some oats. So all of this is 1 cup of everything. Then we have some sesame seeds over here that we're going to be putting in there. And we have some hemp seeds in there that we're going to be putting in there. So this is a healthy, hearty, full of minerals meal that we're having today. Chop up our garlic and put it in our skillet. We're going to chop up our garlic and our mushrooms. It's full of minerals, antioxidant, antimicrobial type of meal that we're having. And fun too, fun meal. We don't have to eat boring vegan food. Y'all see the recipes that I've made on here. None of them is boring. Vegan life is not boring. It's fun, full of flavor. It's not bland. It's full of flavor. We're using our walnut meat substitution again. So we got some walnuts boiling on the stove. We're going to be draining that out, blending that up in our food processor. Well, we're going to saute these onions right here. All of the garlic, onions, and peppers right here. We're going to be sauteing that. Let's chop up our mushrooms and chop up our cabbage. So we're using about 5 mushrooms. And I'm making a small, the meatloaf is going to be in this size pan. So I'm making a small meatloaf, not a big one. So if you have a big family, just double up on these ingredients. I'm using 1 cup of everything. 1 cup of everything. If you need to double it up to get a bigger size. So instead of breadcrumbs, we're using oats. Instead of eggs, we're using flax seeds. Instead of ketchup, we're making our own ketchup out of veggies and balsamic vinegar with some dates for the sweetness of it. Instead of meat, we're using mushrooms and walnuts. Everything that's unhealthy for you has an alternative. Everything that's unhealthy has an alternative. I'm going to repeat it. You know, every time I repeat something, that means it's important. It's important for you to understand that nature has literally everything you need. And nature has everything that you need and want the taste of. So I haven't had meatloaf. I haven't even cooked a meatloaf before. This is my first time cooking a meatloaf. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna be going on the stove and we're gonna saute all of this up. In our sauce, we're gonna be putting, so for our sauce, this is our sauce. We're gonna put all of this in this blender right here. So I'm just putting some hemp seeds, some sesame seeds. So that was sesame seeds that we just put. And we're gonna blend all of this up in our blender. Let's chop up some cabbage to saute some cabbage. I'm not using carrots. When I looked at the videos, they was using carrots. I really don't care for carrots like that. And carrots really is unnatural anyway. These carrots are man-made. So we don't use carrots like that. But I mean, hey, carrots are growing everywhere. They're growing carrots. They have carrot seeds. They're growing carrots in Africa. They're growing everything, you know, worldwide. So, I mean, you can use celery, carrots for this. But these are the veggies that we're doing. All of our veggies is going to be in our sauce. And then, except for this cabbage, mushrooms, and walnuts, which I got to go check on. We're going to go check on how the lentils are doing and how the walnuts are doing. We're going to go check on that here in a second, because we got to saute this right here. And then this is going to be for the filling. At the end, we're going to pulse everything up in our food processor. So let's go on to the stove. All right, y'all. So this is our walnuts. I'm going to put our walnuts in our food processor. All right. This is our mushrooms. This is just our mushrooms that we're putting in here for right now. This is the consistency that we want our walnut meat. So let's go ahead and do our sauce, just in case we need to put it on the stove to get thickened. Now, I'm not going to be putting that much water in there. So like I said, I already said the ingredients that we have in here. So let's just go ahead and put everything in here. It does have a little bit of water because I did have all these veggies in the freezer. So we're not going to be adding that much water to it because I want our sauce to be thick. Not too thick, but thick enough. So yeah, it's already watery anyway. Alright, y'all, so I added a few seasonings in there. Taste them. That's sweet. That's really, really sweet. It's really, really sweet. So I'm going to add some paprika, some more cumin. I'm going to add a little bit of cayenne pepper. Let me see this balsamic vinegar. I'm going to add a little bit of balsamic vinegar. I'm going to add a little bit of that. Some crushed red peppers. I forgot I didn't have no cayenne. So for the coloring of it, we're going to add some annatto. Let's see if that annatto bring out the color a little bit. Annatto making it orange. This is going to be our sauce, y'all. So at the end, I might put it on the stove to warm it a little bit. So we're going to set this to the side. Here's a look at our lentils cooking. That's our lentils cooking. Then we have our veggie stir fry right here with the cabbage, mushrooms, bell peppers, onions, garlic. Now we're going to add our walnut meat. Got my walnut meat. Once these lentils finish cooking, I'm going to add it to this mixture. Then we're going to put some seasonings on it. So we're adding our walnut meat in. Let me taste these lentils to make sure they're finished. Yeah, these lentils are finished. I'm just going to add the lentils. And then we're going to put the seasoning on there. I didn't put no seasoning on these lentils. We're just going to put like 1 cup and then I'm going to save these lentils. Alright, so I put like 1 cup of lentils, 1 cup of walnuts, everything 1 cup. Everything 1 cup. If you need more, add more. Alright, now let's put our seasonings on there. We're going to put paprika. We're going to put cumin. We're going to put some onion powder, garlic, a little garlic powder, and Italian seasoning. Those are going to be our seasonings that we're putting on in our, to saute it. Mind you, I ain't even put oil in here. I just put a little bit of water in there. Cabbage is water consistency, so we didn't have to worry about that. Let's go get our seasonings. It's named all of the seasonings that we're using, so I'm just going to be putting them in here. There's no amount. I'm just following spirit on how much seasoning I'm going to put in there by eyeing it. I like eyeing it, so just eye it. Taste it. If you need to add some more, add some more. Also going to put some sea salt in there. Cumin. Cumin is good for that meat type of like taste. I'm going to add a little bit of crushed pepper. Fold that in. Let me go get the sea salt, garlic powder, and then some sea salt. Let's add some turmeric in here as well. My curry powder gone, y'all. I can't even add no more curry powder because that is gone. I used that up. That was so good. Grind it up with the flaxseed, egg, and the oats. We are using the oats in the replacement of breadcrumbs. So let me taste it, y'all. Yeah, it's good. No more salt needs to be added. Let me taste it again and see if we're good on the seasonings. Let's get everything brown. I'm thinking like we don't really have to leave it in there because it's going in the oven, so everything's gonna get cooked down some more. Lentils is done. Mushrooms good. Mixed it in. Our veggie meatloaf filling that we're gonna use. So good. If y'all already checked out the customized jewelry, check out the customized jewelry. If y'all want one-of-a-kind nature-based jewels, I know I have to like promote. If y'all want one-of-a-kind nature-based jewels, it's on the website. Yeah, that way. Yeah, that way. So we're going to be pairing this with some butternut squash. And I have some chickpea cornbread left over from our vegan lasagna video that we made. So check out that recipe if you want to make that chickpea cornbread. Alright, y'all. Let's head back to the table. So we have our flax seeds and our oats. What we're going to do is we're going to grind up our flax seeds. We're going to grind up our flax seeds right here into a powder. They got some other herbs in there too, but wow. Wow. This is flax seeds, grinded up flax seeds. We're about to make a flaxseed egg. This is how you make flaxseed eggs. You grind up your flax seeds just like so. Just like so. And this is a good binder. So if you, anything that calls for an egg, and if you're vegan or plant-based or don't use eggs and stuff like that, you can put some water on it. Put some water on it. You're going to stir it up. I'm going to stir it up. I mean, you see that consistency? You see that egg consistency? You're going to stir it up until it looks like an egg. It's a little bit too thick, so we're going to add a little bit more water to it. Just a little bit. Because we don't want it too watery. Stir it up until it looks like an egg. You can also do this with aquafaba, the water from the chickpeas. When you boil chickpeas, use that water or save that water so you can have an egg replacement. Also, applesauce is an egg replacement. So if you don't like eggs, if you don't want to do dairy, if you don't have no free-range eggs or organic eggs, you can use flaxseed eggs. You can use flaxseed eggs. This is an egg replacement, y'all. So we're just really going to be putting a little bit in here. Because I added, this is a little bit over 1 cup. Remember, I'm doing everything 1 cup. This is the consistency that I'm looking for that egg. Alright, y'all. Now what we're going to do is bring our meatloaf mixture, and we're going to use our food processor to put our oats in there to bind it with the flaxseed egg. So let's go get it. This right here. Yeah. Yeah. This is what we want right here. Yeah. You can make quesadillas out of this. Sambusa, tacos, burritos, nachos. What else? Because we're going to be using the same mixture on our next recipe video to make sambusas. Sambusa, whatever, however you say it. Sambusa, whatever. So we're just going to take a little bit. Not a lot. Probably like half of this mixture. Yeah. Well, a little bit over half because I'm trying to fill up a pan like this. It might not be all the way up to the top, but alright, y'all. So, yes, let's put a little bit more in there. It just seems like it just needs to be a little bit more. Alright, we can do at least about 4 sambusas tomorrow with this. And plus, I got a little bit more lentils left over, so. Alright. Yeah, this is a good amount. So I'm sitting up here eating it. Alright. So we're going to be putting our oats. And then we're going to be putting about 3 tablespoons of flaxseed. Just a little bit more. Just to cover the top of it. Alright, now let's blend everything together. Let's munch it down. It probably needs to be munched down. Let's bring everything together. Yeah, let's bring everything together. I might need to just put this in a bowl and mix it. That's probably what I'm going to do next. Put this in a bowl and mix it up. Yeah, I'm going to put this in a bowl, mix it up, and put it back in there. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, y'all, let's take it out. Put it in a bowl. Mix it up. Mix it all the way up until it gets binded all the way together. With the flaxseed egg. Now, I don't have any parchment paper to put in our pan, so I'm gonna put some avocado oil at the bottom of it. And we're just going to eat it straight out the pan. I know people be taking it out and stuff. But since we don't have that parchment paper, I don't know how it's going to go. Let's see if it's bonded up all together. Alright, y'all. See? Let's put one more flaxseed egg in there. Yeah, that's it. I think that's it right there. Because I'm eyeing it and I'm like, it's not really staying together. But let's hope for the best with this. Like I said, this is my first time making this meatloaf. So let's hope for the best. Let's hope it binds all together. You know. Could put it back in there so it can grind up the little oats that's in it, but the oats is the replacement for the breadcrumbs, y'all. Some people use vegan breadcrumbs. Some people make their own breadcrumbs. We're using oats. Rolled oats. Alright, this looks like it's binding up pretty good, though. If you ask me. Yeah. Alright, so now let's put our avocado oil in our pan and then just fill it up. We have some avocado oil. 100% avocado oil. So we're going to oil the whole pan. And we're going to put it on medium high in our stove. That's probably like about 400 maybe. 350 or 400. So we're going to put everything in our pan. We're going to use our rest of our filling to make sambusas later. Alright, y'all. So, like I said, we're not going to be using it all the way up to the top. But this is what it's looking like. That's what it's looking like. We're going to use the rest of the filling for when we do our samosas with our chickpea flour. So y'all see this? I didn't fill it all the way up to the top. But here we go, y'all. This is it. Then we're going to put our topping, see? We're going to put our topping over it. So let's go get our topping. I put it over the stove. Y'all, here's our topping that we're going to put on top of the meatloaf. Oh, that came out red. Oh, I think it's because of the annatto. Annatto did that. The annatto did that, y'all. So I know some people use I don't have any parchment paper. I looked and I'm like, dang, I'm out of it. So we're just going to slightly put that in there. And we're going to put some Italian seasonings on the top of it, and then we're going to put it in the oven. Okay, y'all see that? All right. We made our own veggie sauce, y'all. Instead of using the ketchup, we made our own. All right, y'all. So now we're putting it in the oven for about on 400. Put it in the oven for 400. Bake for about 30 minutes or so. But we're gonna be checking on it. Let me put that. All right, y'all. So I know it looks. I know it looked a little burnt on the side because I had first had it in there for like 30 minutes or so, and then I put it back in there because I was like, it's not done a little bit. So let's cut it. It's my first time cutting it to see if it's gonna lift up because we put that flaxseed egg in there. So let's see if we can get it out. Because we put that oil on there. So cut me 2 slices. That's what it's looking like. And it looks burnt, but it's not burnt. It's just these ridges right here. I guess we could have put a little bit more flaxseed egg in there. Alright. I'm going to taste this. Oh, there we go. I know it ain't. We got our butternut squash. Alright, y'all. What it's looking like. You see? That's how our meatloaf is looking. Let's take a bite of it. Oh no. I think it's the oats did it for me. I should have grinded up the oats. It's okay. So this is our plate. This is how it's looking with chickpea cornbread, with the meatloaf
green beans, and butternut squash. Get into it. To be honest, I probably will put a little bit more sauce on there. Yeah. Let me taste it now. You could put barbecue sauce on it too. It probably still tastes good. But yeah, y'all, that's our vegan meatloaf. I gave it a try. I'm glad I didn't make a lot. Because to be honest, I ain't gonna be making this again. I'm not really a meatloaf fan. But hey, we haven't made it on our channel and I wanted to try it. So it's okay though. It's okay. I give it about, if I was to rate this, it's probably like a 5. So this is a little Sunday meal. A meal that you can make with your family. You know, for Sunday dinner. If you're vegan, make you this. Make you this meatloaf. Alright, y'all. Give thanks and gratitude for y'all tuning in. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what y'all cooking in the comments. Let me know what meal y'all want to cook in the comments next. I'll say. Good thanks and gratitude. Peace.